What if I told you that you've been living wrong all along, that the seriousness with which you face your problems is exactly what makes them insurmountable? Imagine for a moment that life is simultaneously a cosmic joke and the most sacred event in the universe. Have you noticed how we spend our entire lives trying to balance two impossible extremes? On one side, we're bombarded with the idea that we need to take everything seriously, build a solid career, achieve goals, be productive, make every second count. On the other side, we hear that life is too short to worry, that we should live in the moment, that none of this matters in the end. And so we stand there, frozen between these two contradictory commands, not knowing which to follow. The truth is that both are right, and both are completely wrong. Because life isn't about choosing between weight and lightness. It's about discovering that they're the same thing, seen from different angles. Think about it. What paralyzes you today? That presentation at work, that difficult conversation you need to have, that mistake from the past that still haunts you. These moments seem so heavy, so definitive, so loaded with meaning that you feel as if your existence depends on them. And in a way, it does. But it also doesn't. Sound confusing? It should, because it's in this confusion that wisdom lives. The Stoics of ancient Rome had an expression for this. Amor Fati, the love of fate. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the greatest empire in the world, wrote in his personal journals that everything that happened was simultaneously trivial and essential. He ruled millions of people, made decisions that changed the course of history, and yet wrote that all of this was like dust in the wind. But this didn't make him indifferent. On the contrary, it made him more present, more engaged, more alive. Because when you understand that nothing is serious in the cosmic sense, you free yourself to make everything matter in the human sense. Look at your life now. How many times have you failed to do something out of fear of failure? How many conversations have you avoided? How many dreams have you postponed? How many experiences have you missed because you took the possibility of failure too seriously? And at the same time, how many times have you been indifferent to precious moments, treating them as ordinary, forgetting that each instant is unique and irretrievable? This is the dance. This is the tension that defines us as humans. We are the only beings on the planet who know they're going to die, and this awareness could either crush us or liberate us. But here's the secret that few understand. Only when you accept that you're going to die, that everything will end, that in the grand cosmic scheme you are insignificant, only then can you truly begin to live. Let me tell you something. When you were a child, you didn't take anything seriously. You played, explored, created entire worlds in your imagination. A cardboard box was a spaceship, a bedsheet was a superhero cape, and the living room floor was lava. Everything mattered intensely in that moment, but at the same time, nothing had existential weight. You lived in the paradox naturally, and then something happened. You grew up, and growing up in our society means learning to worry. It means absorbing layers upon layers of seriousness, responsibility, fear, and anxiety. It means losing that sacred lightness that allowed you to be fully human. Now you have a mortgage, a boss, commitments, expectations. And suddenly, that person who turned boxes into spaceships can no longer find joy in small things. Do you feel this loss? This longing for who you were before you learned to worry? But here's the beautiful part. You don't need to become a child again to recover that. You need to go beyond. You need to traverse seriousness and arrive on the other side. Buddhists call this beginner's mind. It's when you look at the world again with fresh eyes, but now with the wisdom of someone who has suffered, made mistakes, and learned. It's when you realize that the email that kept you anxious all night won't matter in 5 years. But you also realize that the way you treated the person who sent you that email, that might echo forever. It's when you understand that your career doesn't define who you are, but the dedication you put into it reveals your character. It's when you accept that your body will age and die, but decide to honor it today, in this moment, because it's the only vehicle you have to experience this miracle called life. If you're feeling this resonate within you, if something in these words is touching a wound or lighting a fire, don't leave this journey halfway. Subscribe to the channel because we're only beginning to unravel the layers of this truth. Now comes the hard part, the part where we need to talk about action, because understanding this paradox philosophically is one thing. Living it is something completely different. How do you actually live as if nothing is serious, but everything matters? First, you need to embrace impermanence. Everything is changing right now, this very second. The cells in your body are dying and being born. Relationships are evolving. The world is spinning at 1,000 kilometers per hour through space. Nothing is static. So why do you treat your problems as if they were permanent? That rejection you suffered, that mistake you made, that opportunity you lost, all of this is already transforming into something else. Pain is metamorphosing into wisdom. Failure is transmuting into experience. But you can only see this alchemy when you stop clinging so desperately to the narrative that things need to be a certain way. Second, you need to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. Our culture has taught us to treat everything as urgent. Notifications, deadlines, demands, expectations. Everything screams for your attention all the time, and you get lost in this hurricane of urgency, forgetting what is truly important. What is important? The people you love. The values you choose to embody. The legacy of kindness and authenticity you leave in every interaction. The art you create, not to impress anyone, but because your soul needs to express itself. These things aren't urgent. They'll never scream for you, but they are everything. Third, you need to learn to laugh, not an escapist laugh, not a cynical humor that uses sarcasm as a shield, but a genuine laugh from someone who understood the cosmic joke. You are a conscious primate living on a floating rock in space, worried about whether your socks match. This is hilarious. This is absurd. This is wonderful. When you can laugh at your own existence, not in a cruel way, but in an affectionate way, you find a freedom that no external achievement can give you. The French existentialists, especially Camus, understood this deeply. Camus wrote about Sisyphus, that guy from Greek mythology, condemned to push a rock up a mountain eternally, only to watch it roll back down every time. And Camus said something revolutionary. We must imagine Sisyphus happy. Why? Because Sisyphus understood that the rock isn't the problem. Resistance to the rock is the problem. Your life might seem Sisyphean sometimes. You wake up, work, come home, sleep, and repeat. You try to build something, and life tears it down. You make progress, and a setback throws you back. But what if, like Sisyphus, you could find joy not despite the rock, but through it? What if pushing the rock was the point, not the top of the mountain? What if each effort, each attempt, each restart was sacred in itself, independent of the outcome? But there's an even deeper secret that few know, a secret that changes everything. The secret is this: you are already free. Right now, in this exact moment, you already have everything you need. The pursuit of future peace is what keeps you prisoner to present suffering, because while you're chasing a better version of yourself, you're rejecting who you are now. And that rejection is violent, it's cruel, it's unnecessary. Look around now, not metaphorically, literally look. You are alive, you are breathing, you have consciousness, you can feel, think, experience. This is a miracle so profound that no human achievement comes close to its grandeur. The mathematical chances of you existing are so small, they're essentially zero. And yet here you are. Against all cosmic odds, you exist. And not only do you exist, you have the capacity to contemplate your own existence. Isn't this serious? Of course not. It's completely absurd. But does it matter? More than anything else in the universe, because you are the universe contemplating itself. You are the cosmos having a subjective experience. You are matter that gained consciousness and can now marvel at its own improbability. So yes, your mundane worries are trivial in the grand scheme of things. That mean comments someone made about you won't matter when the sun burns out. But today, in this moment, it matters everything. Because this moment is all you have. This moment is your entire life. So live, not recklessly or selfishly. Live fully. Feel your feelings completely, without trying to escape them or fixate on them. Love the people around you, knowing that you're all walking toward the same final destination. Work as if it matters, because it does, but rest knowing that you're not defined by your achievements. Make mistakes, fail, fall flat on your face, and then get up laughing, because the fall is also part of the dance. Be kind, not because people deserve it, but because you choose to be kind, regardless of whether they deserve it. Create things, not to be perfect, but because creating is being alive. And when the time comes to leave, and it will come, you'll be able to look back and say, I lived the paradox. I danced in the tension between weight and lightness. I understood that nothing was serious, but I made everything matter. This is the only wisdom worth pursuing, the ability to hold two contradictory truths at the same time and keep dancing. So dance. Dance as if the entire universe is watching, but also as if no one is looking. Dance because you're going to die someday, but also because you're alive now. Dance because none of this is serious, but all of it matters deeply. If this message touched something inside you, if you felt a click, an opening, a moment of recognition, don't let this feeling evaporate. Like this video, comment what resonated with you, and subscribe to this channel, because we're building a community of people who understand that life is too serious to be taken seriously. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. You know who it is. That friend who's taking themselves too seriously lately. That person who forgot how to laugh. Be the messenger of this liberating truth. And remember, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be here, present, conscious, alive. That's already enough. That always was enough.